How easy it would be to fall for you, but that of course is something I won't do, 'cause we've agreed between you and me we're nothing more than friends.
Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. It is a dreary, cloudy, rainy morning, and I have just had my windows open and been enjoying my coffee. It's so nice because it's just that nice spring temperature outside. And today I am really wanting to work on the design of my bedroom, because my bedroom has kind of become the holding area for all my boxes, things that I have not unpacked since moving, and so it's just not very relaxing. I haven't really done any decor other than just putting my furniture in there, so I'm excited to kind of work with the space a little bit, and I'm just going to get started with it today, and I thought I'd share a little bit of that process and also some of my ideas for the future of that room with you today, and I'm excited about it. So the first thing I want to show you, I've kind of gone through and found decor items that I already have that I think will work really well in this room. And then I also am going to do a little bit of thrifting this morning. I went thrifting over the weekend with one of my friends and honestly didn't have the best luck. I found 2 items, which I will show you in a little bit. So I want to go to one more thrift store this morning and see if I have better luck. But let me show you a couple of the items that I have that I think will look good in this room, and then we will go thrifting. Okay, so I've just kind of made a big pile of things in here that I have that I think might work for this room. We will see. So I have some fabric here. This is actually what I'm planning to make my curtains for this room out of. Now, I'm still waiting on some more yardage of this to come in to make the curtains, so that won't be happening today, but I wanted to look at the colors. And then I pulled just some different artwork. This is a thrifted one. This one came from my friend's mom, and I actually have the matching one up here in the living room. Then this little ballerina print is one that was my great grandmother's. I have 2 of them actually, but I think I'll just use one in this room. This is a thrifted frame that I painted and put a note card from the local art museum in. And then I have some pretty candlesticks with that pretty blue color from the curtain fabric, and also a plant pot and this pretty mirror. I have this little thrifted magazine rack that I spray painted a long time ago. I used to use it for my records, but I think it might be a nice little element somewhere in the room. Some little trays. I have this one and this vintage brass one. These are some of my travel photos that I thought could be a nice addition if I frame them. I like the colors. These are all from Notting Hill in London. And then this is my very treasured jewelry box that my dad bought me in Switzerland many years ago. And then one of the wild cards that I have, I don't know if these will work anywhere. These were my parents like when I was a kid, and they didn't want them anymore because they were too dated for them. And I think that they're so pretty. They're these tapestries. I believe this one is supposed to be from the opera Carmen. And so if I can find a place where I think they will look good, I would love to incorporate them. So we'll see about that. Now, I've already gotten started with a little bit of decorating this morning with some new bedding from Brooklinen, who are very kindly sponsoring today's video. Brooklinen is a high quality sheets company, and I am super picky about sheets, so I was so excited to try them out when they reached out. I wanted to freshen up the space for spring with a classic white set of bedding, so I went for their classic hardcore bundle, which includes sheets, pillowcases, and a duvet cover. And when you get the bundle, there's actually a 20% savings. So that's really nice. And this is their crisp cotton, which I absolutely love. I love cool, crisp sheets, but they do have other fibers available. They have a washed linen, which looks really nice, but I love the crispy cotton, so I was excited about that. So I've just made my bed with everything included in the bundle, and that is the duvet cover, the fitted sheet, top sheet, and 4 pillowcases, which I think is really nice. I also really like the design of the pillowcases because they are like an envelope almost style here. Let me show you. So you can't see the pillow sticking out, which I think is super nice. And now that I've made my bed, I'm very much resisting the urge to crawl back into it because it feels like a delightful, fluffy cotton cloud. But there's things to be done, so I'm going to go get to it. And while I went for the classic white option, they have such a beautiful variety of colors and patterns available on the website. So I think with my next order, I'm going to have to get the duvet cover in blue mist. It's such a beautiful shade of blue, and I think it would match really nicely with some of the other blue elements in the room. I absolutely love these sheets and have been so happy with them. So if you are in the market for some new bedding, shopping and you would like to try Brooklinen for yourself, you can take $20 off your order of $100 or more by using my code and my link down in the description box. Thank you again so much to Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video and getting me started with my little room refresh today. And now let's head out to the thrift store. I just got to Goodwill. They just opened 10 minutes ago, and I feel like I normally end up going to Goodwill later in the day, like in the evening after work. So I'm hoping I'll have better luck because it's morning and I don't typically come right at opening time. So we'll see, fingers crossed. Let's go see what they have.
To an end. How crazy that would be, yet here I am.
Definitely having good luck so far with like artwork and frames. All right, I found a few good things that I'm excited about. So let me go back home and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so it is haul time. So let me show you what I got. The first thing has nothing to do with decorating my bedroom, but I always love looking at vintage glassware for something that looks like you would find it at a much more upscale place than Goodwill. And I found these little glasses that I think are just beautiful. And I'm very excited about these because I love the style. I think they'll be great for drinks or for little desserts and so much fun. They also have a very nice clink sound. And then this I found over the weekend with my friend Leslie. This is just a simple little glass vase, and I love collecting vases from the thrift store. I thought this would be really nice to set on my nightstand because I like to have fresh flowers, and I think it would be a really cute addition. Then this is a little bit of a wild card. Some people might hate this, but I really liked it. It spoke to me. This is a little tiny lamp, and it has this cute vintage flower element in the center, and it also has a really pretty finial. So I think with the right lampshade, something maybe scalloped around the edge in a fun pastel color, this could be a really cute addition to my space. So I will play around with that a bit and see how it works. This is just a very basic basket, but I don't often find baskets that I like at the thrift store, and I thought this would be useful somewhere in my apartment. I love that it's good quality and it's a nice shape as well. I feel like I usually don't have good luck with baskets at the thrift store, so I was happy to find that one. And then onto frames and artwork. This piece I got just for the frame and the mat because the print inside is damaged, but it's such a pretty frame. It has this detailing on the corners that I love, and then the mat is blush pink, and this was $3.99. So for a large frame like this, it's such a good price. And I have a few posters coming in the mail this week from Etsy, and I think one of those might fit nicely into this. So I'm excited about that. And this is another find from the weekend. This is one of my favorites. It's this beautiful print, and this is professionally framed. I love looking for these vintage floral prints, and I love the colors in this one. I think it's so lovely. So excited to include this in a gallery somewhere. And then one more floral print. This one I'm not as in love with as the other one, but I think it could work really well in the right grouping. So I went ahead and picked it up because it's a nice neutral tone and the frame is really beautiful as well. And then finally, this is going to be hard to show you. This is just a very basic mirror. You can see everything around me now. And it has this nice wide frame on it. It was only $4.99. And the reason I picked this mirror up is because there is a mirror at Anthropologie right now that I love, but it's like $1,000 and there's no way I would pay that for a mirror. So I thought it would make a really fun DIY project to try and make something similar. So I'm planning to work on that probably for the rest of this video. So I will go to Home Depot a little bit later today and get some paint, and then I think I could just stencil on some flower designs to make something similar for not $1,000. Obviously it's a much smaller mirror, but I think it will give me the same effect. So I'm going to try that out. And then as far as hanging these items goes, in my apartment there is antique plaster, so we have to be very careful with how we hang things on the wall. And they do have picture rails throughout the apartment, so I think I might use those in the bedroom for some of these larger pieces if I decide to use them, and see how that goes. So I'm going to try and play around with some little arrangements now with some of the decor, and I'll see how much I can get to, and then a little bit later I'll go get some paint and do this little fun project. But all in all, I was really happy with what I found this morning. I do feel like going in the morning is going to be key for me in the future, because as I was walking around, they were putting new things out on the shelves, and I kind of was just following this lovely lady around and seeing what she was setting out. So I think that's definitely going to help me have better thrifting luck in the future, because I think with the past several months of going after work, it's just not been as good of finds. So hopefully that will give me a little bit better luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making some arrangements and see what I can do with all this stuff. So I'm going to start with my little nightstand area over here. I've had this nightstand forever, and honestly it's looking a little worse for wear. It definitely has some cup marks on the surface, but it doesn't look too bad. And then I have this little lamp here, which I love, but I do need to get a bulb before. I love the crystal shade on this. So I pulled 2 trays from my collection. I think this one is going to work better for the size. I'm going to start with that. And then these are all things that I just love keeping on my nightstand. I have my lip balm, cuticle cream, and then this is like a little refreshing room spray that's very minty and soothing. And then I have a couple of books. This is my current read at the moment, and then this is what I'm hoping to read next. I read this one before, Summer at Tiffany. It is the cutest book if you're looking for a good summer read. It's a memoir, and I just really enjoyed this one. I found this one from my friend Haley Solano, and then I just started Vanderbilt recently, and this is super interesting. I have been loving the show The Gilded Age, so this refers to a lot of the same things. I'm trying to bear in mind too that this corner will have a lot of pattern in it when I eventually get the curtains made, so it doesn't need to be too overwhelming because that will be very busy. Okay, I'm gonna try adding a flower to this and we'll see how it looks. Okay, this I'm really liking, and this is not practical at all because I did take away the 2 books that I'm actually reading and added some decorative ones, but I just think they fit the space a little bit better, and I am not really one for practicality over aesthetics, so I think it's okay. So right now I'm going to stop there because I need to head out because I actually need to go to work this afternoon. But this evening I'm going to go by the Home Depot and get some paint, and then I will catch up with you then. So I am back home. I just got back from running a few errands and picking up some paint for the mirror. And I ended up just getting some paint samples from Home Depot. So this is the color I'm going to use for the background of the mirror. It's just a pretty bright light green. And then I also got a slightly darker one and then black and white to do some of the detail work. And then at Michael's, I grabbed a stencil that has some floral elements in it. This is the pack that I wanted to use for this. Please excuse the lighting. My apartment is kind of dim lit at night. I need to get more lamps, but I'm going to go ahead and start painting the mirror. I did realize that I got home and didn't have painter's tape, so I'm going to try to just seal it off with some plastic as I work on it. We'll see how this works. Hopefully I don't end up painting the whole mirror, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on it now. I'm very excited to see how it turns out. To thinking the one thing that this space was missing is a little vintage looking clock, and then at Michael's last night I found this and I thought it was perfect. Good morning, friends. So it is now the next day and I let the mirror dry overnight for the base coat, and I'm about to get started on the stenciling. So I wanted to show you how the color looks so far. So here is the base color. I went with a satin finish paint and I think it looks really nice. So I've gone ahead and cut out a couple of shapes out of the stencils, and I was trying this a little bit last night, but I was kind of struggling to get it to look right. So I'm going to try again today. So I cut out 2 of the flowers, and then I have a white and a darker, brighter green to use. And the thing that I was realizing is that I just need to make sure that the stencil is staying down because it wants to kind of wiggle around. So I kind of wish that they would like stick on. And then also I found that stippling the paint was working a lot better. So I'm just going to start trying to do this and let's see how it goes. I think it looks pretty good. It's not quite as precise as I would have liked, but I think it looks okay. So we'll see if we can get each one to look a little bit better. I've just finished painting all of the little details on the mirror, and I added just a little bit of black paint for some detail and just went back over all of the stencil designs. I did touch up the main base layer, and you'll see I got a bunch of paint on the mirror because I wanted to make sure all of that inside section was really well covered in the paint, but I found when I was working on it previously that it's easy to just clean the paint off of the mirror, so I'm gonna do that. And I think it's looking really nice. So I'm going to let the mirror dry for a little bit and run and get a cup of coffee, and then I'll come back to hang it up. I'm excited to see how it looks in my room. Okay, so the mirror is up on the wall and I absolutely love it. I think it turned out so beautifully. There's me, there's my big mess in the corner over there of packing supplies and such. And then I also added a few frames over here. So I have the vintage rose, the vintage ballerina one from my great grandmother, and then of course a picture of me and my little nephew. I have a lot of family photos I want to put up in here, and oh my gosh, it's just so cute. It makes me smile so much. Now I can't quite decide if it looks funny because I put the mirror in the center and then added frames on this side, so I might add more here later, but with the light switch there, I almost feel like it's better to have it to this side, and I kind of like this little vignette here in the corner of the room. Now I did end up using the picture rail to hang in the mirror. I ran to Ace Hardware and got a little molding hook, so they do have those there if you happen to be looking for some, and then used just some invisible hanging string to add that, and I think it worked really well. So yeah, I'm just so pleased with this. For the price that I paid for the $5 mirror, or $4.99, and then to add the details was so much fun, and I think it really gives me the effect of that Anthropologie mirror without costing $1,000+. Now I really quickly just kind of hung up some of the fabric for the curtains in the corner just to kind of visualize what this will look like as it comes together. I also have the matching ottoman, which I absolutely love, and I am loving this color palette. I feel like all of the blues and greens are so soothing, and then with the crisp white bedding, I think it's just the most relaxing looking thing. So I'm very excited to see how it comes together over the next several weeks. So this is going to be it for today's installment of Apartment Diaries. In the next episode, I plan to work on the curtains, so I'm very excited. But thank you so much for watching and spending your time here on my channel today. I hope you enjoyed getting a little peek into the start of this room. There is still lots to do, but I had so much fun working on this mirror project and doing a little bit of thrifting. And so the next episode will definitely cover this same room, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for spending your time here with me today, and thank you so much to Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video and for the absolutely glorious bedding. I slept so well last night in these cool crisp linens, and I can't wait to come back home from work this evening and go back to sleep. So thank you so much to Brooklinen, and make sure to check that link down below if you'd like to get a savings on your first order of $100 or more. That's going to be it from me today, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Bye!